Gaikoku Gamers!
Bite-sized.
Welcome to Gaikoku Gamers. I'm Darryl Benson, and I'm here to talk about Buggy shovelware. And sometimes it's funny because, shovelware doesn't always go ahead and really make it itself totally apparent that it's shovelware. Sometimes it actually looks like a premium budget game, like this game, Bytesized for the GameCube. In this case, this is the import version. As you can see here, I have my Spice GameCube. And what's really horrible about games like these is that, it's coming from Sega, first off, who made Virtua Tennis and a whole bunch of other games, but specifically sports. They made some really good sports games. And so when you see a game subtitled Virtua Beach Volleyball, you kind of expect it to be on the same depth level as, Virtua Tennis. And it's unfortunate because the groundwork is there. The mechanics work a lot differently than Virtua Tennis. The camera doesn't stay basically stationary on one side of the field. It kind of pans around on both sides, and you go between hitting the A button, the B button, and the A button again. Of course, there's other ways to do it, but basically A will set it up, B will prop it up in the air, and then the other player will come in and hit it over the net. It sounds like it works, however, and you can also aim, by the way, your shot with the joystick, so you can go left or right. It sounds like it works, and I think it almost works too well, to the point where the developer went, well, how are we going to make this hard? And so they decided to break the game. By the time that you reach the Brazilians, and especially the Americans, you're going to be hitting the continue screen over and over and over again. And it isn't because of a lack of skill. You'll simply notice that all of a sudden your players, despite being in the circle where you're needing to hit the ball, simply either won't hit it, or they'll hit it like behind them or something. And you can be 3 or 4 points ahead, and before you know it, you'll be in a situation where it's match point, but for them. And then you'll lose. And it happens over and over and over and over again. And the only way that you can get past some of these stages is to find there's usually only like one weakness that you have to kind of exploit. And it's not even really a weakness. It's not like you go, aha! It's just, you kind of notice after a while that something's working 50% of the time instead of 0% of the time. So you still have a chance to lose if you exploit that weakness. And it's just really annoying. And we see games like this in modern times all the time. But what this game really is guilty of, though, is the fan service. Now, I like fan services as much as anybody else, and that's great, but only if the core mechanics are there. And, it almost feels like they didn't know how to make this game as fun as Virtua Tennis. And it felt like they got so far in the development cycle until they said, fuck it, focus on graphics. So, you have boobs and butts everywhere, and then you have girls hugging very awkwardly after matches, and if they win the match, then they're like hugging while they're crawling in the sand. It kind of makes you think that maybe a certain fighting series creator was in charge of making this game. To be fair, though, unlike that fighting game, see if you guys can figure it out, to be fair, there aren't like a lot of boob physics and all that type of stuff that's thrown into the mix. So it does try to be somewhat respectable. However, hidden under the scantily clad volleyball players and the slew of extras like Space Channel 5 bikinis and hair and all that type of stuff that you can get for your characters is really nothing but a very aggravating, shallow game that really shows its cards after the first 3 matches, and then the 4th and 5th, they just break the game in an artificial way to give you any sort of challenge. And that's really unfortunate. So I would definitely give a thumbs down to Bytesized, Virtua Beach Volleyball. If you can, instead, go ahead and get Virtua Tennis if you're looking for a Sega sports game that's good. But, this happens all the time in the industry, and it even happens till this day. So I'm just kind of curious. If you've ever played this game, what do you think of it? And number two, what other games can you think of in modern times, i.e. CD-based game consoles, that fell into this trap, aka also from big developers like Sega, or maybe Microsoft, or maybe Sony, or maybe even Nintendo? Go ahead, leave a comment below. Please rate and subscribe. We've really been appreciating your new subscribers that we've been getting. Remember, we have videos every single day, and we really appreciate you watching episodes like this bite-sized episode. And until then, I'm Darryl Benson, and we will see you next time.